Do you like magic cards that are free? Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles and sweet jumping Jesus. It's free magic cards time. Well, it will be soon. Next weekend. That's what's going down. We are here to talk about the upcoming open house. And there are some changes going down. So, first off, when is it happening? Next weekend. So the tail end of June, beginning of July weekend, all right? Mark it on your calendars, mark it in your brain. We're gonna talk about how it works, what the purpose of it is. This is an event that's designed for beginners. Are you brand noob? Are you brand Nubian to Magic the Gathering? Have you not gathered the magic yet? Well, this is an event for you. And if you're an entrenched player, if you're a super fan, bring out your friends. Bring out your mom. Bring out your mom's friends. What is on my lip? Is it the devil? Get out of here, Satan. Nobody wants to see you. Okay, so how does it work? You show up, you play for free, you get a free magic deck. What? Just end the video there. No, here's how it goes. So when you get there, you will get to choose between 5 different decks. Boom, look at that. We've got all the 5 different colors of magic. So what's going to happen is when you go in, you're going to select a color unless the store just gives them out randomly. Every place does it differently. There's no specific rules about how these decks are distributed. So how I've always seen it done so far is everybody just gets to pick the color that they want. So how it works inside of each of these little decks. Let's say, for example, you've selected green with this intense looking Vivian Reed artwork. It's really nice, actually. You know what? Let's take a moment and appreciate the artwork on these boxes too, because this is something that you get as well. Along with the deck, you straight up get these deck boxes, which are really nice to look at. I mean, on the back, it's just regular words. They all say the same thing in terms of like a little, like they don't say the exact same words on the back, but they say the same in terms of just a little summary paragraph. So there's a nice, wow, he looks amazing, man. It gives a really good, that gives a really good feeling of red. That definitely, you know what, the red one's better than the black one. Let's leave it there. All right, what do we got for blue? We've got Tezzeret. Look at him, he looks intense, man. That's cool. And then for white, we've got a Johnny. So obviously we've got, wow, a Johnny looks pretty badass too. Okay, so we've got all these 5 decks. Now, for an example of what it says on the back, we'll read the red one here. As a red mage, you live for freedom. You revel in the chaos of battle where fire is your weapon and your inspiration. Beautiful, powerful, impossible to control. Elemental fury fuels your victory. I feel like these have kind of a, like almost like a dumbed down kind of summary on the back. But that's okay. It's an introductory product. They're looking to simplify complexity. All right. So back to where we were, taking a look at what's inside here. Let's say you've selected this green Vivian deck here. Now you open it up and inside of it, you're going to find that there are 2 smaller decks and a little insert. Now the little insert here is just a tips for learning and teaching magic. So it has information here on how to learn to play, and it has a couple of tips here on how to teach a friend. So I think that's new. I don't think that I've seen this on the insert before. So it says, if you picked up this deck to teach a friend, or if a friend has asked you to show them the ropes, these guidelines will help you give them a great first experience. 1. Take a moment to look through the deck together to see the different kinds of cards that are included. Don't worry about other card types for now. This is just a quick intro. All right, that's an excellent point to cover. If you guys are teaching somebody Magic the Gathering, something new like that, that's complex, don't give them, don't go, oh, and there's this case, and this could happen, and this could happen. Give them just the amount of information they need to be able to play. Start playing right away. Learning while doing rather than learning all the information up front helps new players. Yep, learning while you play instead of having them trying to keep everything. It's like me, when I play a video game, I may skim through the manual, but I'm going to play the game to get context for what's in the manual and then go back to it. That's how I operate. Try getting started with the following core concepts. If a new player finishes their first game understanding these, they'll be set up for success. Land cards and mana, reading creature cards, casting spells, the rules of combat. There you go. Keep it simple. It's more important for learners to have a good time playing than it is for them to understand Magic strategy perfectly after their first few games. This is an excellent example. If you've ever played a game with somebody who's really good at it, they want to tell you the optimal ways to do everything, and they want to give you all that because they genuinely want to help you, but it's too much information and it doesn't help. So, let's take a look at what you get. Now, these are not, I'm not going to be opening these guys because these are just basically here for display purposes, and these will end up in the hands of a beginner. It seems insane to just open these for a video. So these will end up being used by somebody. If there are excess left over, I'll see if I can get some to actually open for the channel. But I prefer that these end up in the hands of brand new people to Magic. So what's neat about these decks is that you get M19 cards before M19 comes out. The rare that you get here is an aggressive mammoth, and what it is it's 3 green and 3 colors for an 8/8 trampler that gives your other creatures trample. Wow, this is really good. And it's actually pretty funny to compare this because we were just talking today about old school cards, and we were talking about Force of Nature, and that is 4 green, 2 colors for an 8/8 trampler. You have to pay 4 mana. Every upkeep for it does 8 damage to you. Magic's come a long way. This is a lot better than Force of Nature in every conceivable way. It has the same power and toughness and trample just like a Force of Nature does. It costs 1 less green, switches it to a colorless instead, and it gives all your other creatures trample. It's amazing. And the artwork is really nice too. This snowy landscape's being smashed up by the mammoth. So, on top, like, because you've selected the green deck, you will get a green half. But on top of that, you get another half that's random. So in this case, you get blue, but it could have been any of the other 4 colors. So the blue rare is Riddlemaster Sphinx. Now this is 6 mana for a 5/5 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Wow. This is also good too. It feels like they've punched up the rares that come in these decks. The previous Welcome decks, the previous generation rares from the Welcome decks weren't that great. Now I know the red one is Shivan Dragon because I already saw that before, and they keep bringing Shivan Dragon back, and that's fine because honestly, Shivan Dragon really fits the iconic. So let's take a look for we'll take a look for all 5 different ones so you guys know all the 5 rares. As a little bonus kind of spoiler thing. So Shivan Dragon, that's the well-known old school time-tested 2 red 4 colors for a 5/5 flyer that has its power pumped by 1 for every red mana you spend. Basically it has fire breathing. And white, we got white this time. So we've got Sarah's Guardian, which is a beefy angel. She is 6 mana for a 5/5 flying vigilance. Other creatures you control have vigilance. Oh, interesting. It's like the green one that gives all the guys trample. I like that. I like the embodiment of a ability that the color is known for and it being spread out. And this angel's got a nice rack on her. Hell, can't complain about that either. Okay, so we've seen red, white, we've seen green, and blue, which means the only thing we haven't seen is black. So logically, we're going to crack open the black deck because that's where it's guaranteed to be. In we go to the black deck box to see what the black rare is. Alright, so we've got Grave Waker. This is a 6 mana bird spirit 5/5 flyer for 2 black and 5 colorless. You return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Not too shabby. Very cool. It's like a spectral vulture that wakes the dead. I'm down with that. Alright, so that covers basically what you're going to get in these decks. The event itself is not a competitive event, so there's not going to be like rounds paired off in tournaments like that. That's not required. It's just going to be come down, play, and have some fun. On top of getting the deck, you actually also receive an amazing full art promo Gutter Snipe, which I think is a really nice include as well. And the Gutter Snipe, for those of you who don't know, is 1 red and 2 colors for a 2/2. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it does 2 damage to each of your opponents. Very, very cool card. I enjoy the artwork. You can tell where the damage is coming from. He just jabs you with his stick. He just comes out of the gutter and goes, "Yeah, get some." So, it's pretty simple and straightforward. For those of you who are worried that you won't know how to play or what to do, they also actually have these amazing stand-ups that learn to play. They're flip books that explain everything to you, teaching you how to demo and everything. And they're kind enough to send out for the retailers. This is not something for the players, but for the retailers, it actually has a 5-step program they've designed to be the most efficient way to help get people into Magic. So it tells them, basically hook them up with one of these decks, and then show them the Planeswalker decks, and then they can pick one of those up and play against people with those, and then they can move on to the Deck Builder's Toolkit. That's just a summary of what it says on here for you. But another interesting note about this particular event is that the Planeswalker decks will be available for sale earlier. Normally they're only available for sale during the pre-release and then when they regularly come out. So there will be a set of, I think it might be 20 of the Planeswalker decks that are sent out to each store, and they're going to be 5 different colors of the Planeswalker deck. So you're going to want to make sure to snag a copy of those. I believe they may have dropped the price slightly. Now they have the deck and 1 booster pack. So the event is worth going out to. If you're a beginner, you get a free deck and you get one of the promo cards. The way I've seen it done is if you're an experienced player and you bring out beginners, you will also be given one of these promo cards as long as there's enough for everybody. That may not be the case at gigantic stores. I get insane amounts of people. So what I'm saying here is not gospel, it's just a guideline. So let me know what you guys think of the open house and what your experience with it has been. And I will see you guys the next time on MERP. That's me plus perp. Which doesn't really, it's not necessary because I'm perp. Just like explaining this isn't necessary. But is anything really necessary in life? I guess eating is. And love. Love me. Please? Please?
Together, we are the sixth color of magic.